Right now at 6, a judge in McDonald County, Missouri formally sentences a woman convicted of killing her husband.
And it's a bit chilly out there to start. We're going to be a little warmer, though, by this afternoon. We'll have a look at that forecast. Get you out the door. Coming up.
Plus, an update on impeachment proceedings against the mayor of Carthage.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I am Chris Warner. It is Tuesday, October the 8th.
Yes.
2024.
It's very ominous a little bit. You're like 2024. I don't know why I just did that. Okay. It's Tuesday. It's your favorite pierogies.
It's all the pierogies, man.
Can't stop thinking about them.
I don't even really
I've never
want
even had
one,
a
but they
pierogi.
were distracting. Yeah, I've never had one either, but they were distracting just a few minutes ago.
Really delicious.
Apparently so. I've got something that will actually distract you a little bit, something a little bit odd that we haven't seen for a little bit. We're going to first take a look outside from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. So again, we got a few clouds out there. You can't see them yet because it's still dark, but there are a few of them out there. Our camera 7th and range line also looking fairly good this morning. We'll head down to the MoDOT camera at 20th and range line. Doing okay so far down there as well. Still a surprising lack of vehicles out there. And the KDOT camera at 69 East 520th Avenue looking pretty good as well this morning. So here's the thing that's a little surprising. We have a shower. Now, it's outside of our area, unfortunately, and it still looks to remain that way. But we now have got a single lightning strike north of Omnia out there, so it's just to the west of Elk County. And we have this little sprinkle here south of Eureka into Greenwood County. Unfortunately, we're really not expecting much from this, and if you see some of that rain that's developed, it's almost like it's hitting a brick wall right at the far western edges of our area. But a stray shower or two, Elk, Chautauqua, Greenwood counties may be possible this morning. As for the rest of us, though, we are dry. We are looking at mostly clear skies. We'll have a few clouds here and there as we head into the afternoon and evening. Skies will be clear a little later, and we're going to go a little above normal today, and we're going to be a lot above normal for our Wednesday. 50 in both Joplin and Pittsburgh this morning, so just a pinch below average out there. And we have some locations that are pretty darn chilly. Stockton's warmed back up a little, so now that gives the crown of the coolest spot out there back to Miami at 43. Chanute's still the warm spot at 56. We've got that mix of 40s and 50s out there. So again, some of us almost 10 degrees below normal, others a few degrees above normal as we get this Tuesday morning underway. Looking at upper 40s, a few clouds out there when the kids get on the bus this morning. When that bus brings them back home, warmer upper 70s and a northeast breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. That's where our highs are headed. Mid to upper 70s across the region. A couple of low 80-degree readings will be possible as well. I get a few clouds here and there, and those will begin to clear out as we head into the evening hours. Tomorrow, we're looking to be about 10 degrees above normal. We'll have details on that, plus the latest on Hurricane Milton here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, McDonald County judge yesterday formally sentenced Dawn Wynn to life in prison without parole for shooting and killing her husband, Harold Wynn, in 2021 near Anderson, Missouri. Now, during her trial in August, the defense argued that the initial investigation of the scene included a series of missteps, as well as no fingerprints on the murder weapon. A forensic pathologist testified that Mr. Wynn could not have committed suicide due to the lack of trace evidence, gunpowder, or burn marks. Wynn was also sentenced to 15 years in prison for armed criminal action. You'll find more details on the case on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Joplin authorities were clearing a crash on I-44 West near Rangeline just after 10 a.m. yesterday morning when another crash occurred. The secondary crash, which happened in the eastbound lanes, involved 2 school buses and a towed vehicle. The first bus was towing an SUV. As the first bus slowed in traffic, the second bus crashed into the towed vehicle, crushing it between them. Authorities say both buses were new and being delivered to a school district, but did not have children on board at the time. There were no reported injuries. Excuse me. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, the city of Neosho, Missouri has support for its infrastructure on the way. Yesterday, the city hosted a presentation announcing their receipt of Community Development Block Grant funds. Neosho plans to utilize the funds to improve parking in the city.
This will enable them to be able to park in an area that they don't have to get out into traffic. It will enable them to have a little bit easier access to the building, and be able to come and go. The transportation in the area, the public transportation in the area will be able to access the building better. So it'll make a difference in how they live.
Attendees included City of Neosho representatives, Neosho Housing Authority, and Community Development Block Grant Program representatives. The City of Joplin held a council meeting last night. The council discussed a number of items, including emergency ordinances to revise school zones, as well as school zone speed limit times around a number of schools. The council also discussed increasing the speed limit on 44th Street from Connecticut to Rangeline from 35 to 45 miles per hour. The City of Carthage continues to move towards impeachment proceedings against Mayor Dan Rife. Talk of impeachment from certain members of the City Council goes back to April. The articles of impeachment accuse Mayor Dan Rife of violating his oath and duties as mayor. A hearing officer was to be hired for the hearing date. However, Rife filed for a temporary restraining order against the proceedings. A Jasper County judge determined that the delayed hiring violated the mayor's due process rights. A temporary restraining order was granted to Rife, temporarily halting the proceedings. The date for the impeachment hearings is tentatively set for October 29th. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Panera Bread reaches its first settlement in its charged lemonade lawsuit due to its high caffeine content. Plus, strong winds and waves battered Mexico overnight as Hurricane Milton barrels towards Florida's west coast. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Windward Pumpkin Patch located in Franklin, Kansas. Topping Nation Watch this morning. A key borrowing rate for American consumers has climbed to a level we haven't seen in months. Now on Monday, the yield on the benchmark 10-year U.S. Treasury note broke 4% for the first time since August. According to TradeWeb, it went as high as 4.029% during the day. That extends to a jump in the 10-year yield last week after a blowout September jobs report on Friday. The report led investors to adjust their expectations for how much the Federal Reserve will cut rates this year. Companies and everyday Americans are likely to feel pressure from these higher for longer rates. The 10-year yield tracks the rate on things like mortgages, student loans, and car loans. Well, some Ram truck owners will need to take a trip to the dealer. Chrysler is recalling more than 129,000 of its MyRam 1500 pickups that were built in 2023. The National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration says there is an issue with a steering column control module in these vehicles. Now, officials say the glitch could cause drivers to erroneously signal for a lane change, which could result in a potential accident. Well, drivers of affected trucks will receive a notification in the mail this month. Repairs will be made free of charge. And Panera Bread has reached the first settlement among several wrongful death lawsuits regarding one of its now discontinued charged lemonade drinks. The lawyer representing the family of Sarah Katz told USA Today a deal was made but could not provide specifics. Additional charged lemonade cases remain pending. In 2022, the 21-year-old Katz collapsed hours after having some of the charged lemonade and later died in an area hospital. Katz was diagnosed with a heart issue as a child and avoided energy drinks. However, she didn't realize that the charged lemonade had a high caffeine content. A Panera spokesperson released a statement to USA Today saying, quote, "Our hearts go out to her family." Well, this morning, Florida is bracing for another powerful storm. Hurricane Milton was a major Category 5 before weakening to a Category 4 overnight. Florida officials are hoping it loses strength again before it makes landfall on the state's Gulf Coast sometime Wednesday. Christiana Benavides is in St. Pete Beach, Florida, with preparations are underway for Milton, even as residents still recover from Hurricane Helene.
Strong winds and waves battered Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula overnight as Hurricane Milton barrels towards Florida's west coast.
If they have called for your evacuation order, I beg you, I implore you to evacuate.
Heavy highway traffic Monday showed that many Floridians are heeding those warnings, with a deadly storm surge as high as 15 feet forecast for some areas. Those planning to ride out the storm lined up for hours to fill sandbags.
With the last storm, we got flooded. So it's all about prepping this time.
Also to buy gasoline and dwindling supplies at stores, where some shelves are already empty.
Paper towel, water, and canned food boxes, everything. A lot of people is like going crazy buying stuff.
Residents here are still digging out after Helene struck 2 weeks ago. Now there's a race against time to remove piles of debris like this one before Milton moves through.
We need as much of this debris picked up as possible. This creates a safety hazard.
In Tampa, staff at this zoo are rushing to secure the animals before Milton makes landfall.
We do have a lot of what we call night houses or buildings that the animals are used to going into.
The state has also set up a base camp at Tropicana Field with 10,000 beds set up for emergency workers. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, St. Pete Beach, Florida.
At least 9 counties are under mandatory evacuation orders in Florida this morning, with Tampa's airport expected to cease operations today. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we got a little thunderstorm just outside of our area to the west of Elk County out there. And we've had a lightning strike actually near Winfield, so pretty far from the main little shower. Unfortunately, not expected to really make it into our area out there, but could still see a stray shower or sprinkle in, say, Elk, Chautauqua, or Greenwood counties this morning. We are expected to still be dry and much warmer today and even warmer tomorrow. Well, the latest on your forecast when we come back.
Well, a team has located a Navy destroyer that sank 8 decades ago. One of the things that makes the ship so special is it served on both sides of World War II. Dan Ashley has the story.
The Bay Area's fog-shrouded coast seems tailor-made for hiding ghosts from the past. But now a research team has pulled back the curtain on a mystery that's endured for nearly 80 years. The location of a U.S. Navy destroyer known as the Ghost Ship of the Pacific. Explorer and historian James Delgado spun us the seagoing tale of the USS Stuart, captured by the Japanese during World War II and turned against U.S. forces.
What had happened is that the Japanese decided to repair Stuart. When U.S. pilots started reporting it, pretty soon folks said, that's got to be the old Stuart. And so in the ranks of the Navy, Stuart became known as the Ghost Ship of the Pacific, back from the dead.
He says the Navy recovered the USS Stuart after the war, towed her to San Francisco, and ultimately sank her miles off the Golden Gate, an area that's now the Cordell Bank National Marine Sanctuary.
And after a couple of hours, Stuart rolled over onto one side and sank, never to be seen again, until we dropped a remotely operated vehicle on it on August 4th of this year.
First, it helps to understand that the sinking wasn't an isolated case. Delgado assisted with underwater surveys of the USS Independence, a carrier also sunk off the Bay Area coast and was familiar with the waters. Then this summer, he was notified by a company called Ocean Infinity that they were testing autonomous underwater vehicles in that area.
And we're working them together. Do you have anything you'd like to find? Why, funny you should ask.
Using records from Navy archives and a special permit from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the team scanned the ocean floor in early August. Finally, with the help of sonar, they homed in on the wreckage. They say the images show a vessel in remarkably good condition. Delgado was watching from a remote hookup.
They dropped the ROV and they drove it where we asked them to take it. And for 2.5 hours, we explored Stuart, comparing exciting notes back and forth with each other, saying, did you see that? What about this?
The Stuart is still the property of the U.S. Navy, and the mission was not a salvage operation. What the team did take away, though, was the satisfaction of solving an enduring mystery and uncovering the resting place of the Ghost Ship of the Pacific.
The survey team says the Stewart is sitting nearly upright, 3,500 feet underwater. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, got a few clouds out there as we get our day started. A bit on the chilly side as well, but temperatures heating up later this afternoon. Got another look at your forecast, and again, the latest on Hurricane Milton when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 622 now on this Tuesday morning. We're going to start with Skywatch Storm Tracker because while it's still just outside of our immediate area, we have a little thunderstorm just to the west of Elk County, so west of Howard out there. We've had a couple of lightning strikes earlier. We had one north of Winfield, so pretty far away from the actual parent thunderstorm. It's not strong, not severe, not much to it, but we've had some showers attempting to develop out there. But it's almost like they're hitting a brick wall right on the far western edges of our viewing area. They're not really able to make it through, but a stray shower and a couple more now in Greenwood County or two may be possible this morning out there. The majority of us will be dry, mostly clear today, and we're going to be warmer. We'll have a few clouds as we head into the afternoon hours out there. And again, temperatures getting a little bit more above average. Now by Wednesday, we're going to actually start pretty cool again for many of us, but we're going to be even warmer to the tune of about 10 degrees or so above average as we head into Wednesday afternoon with those sunny skies out there. Then we head into our Thursday. And we could see, especially in the parts of Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma, maybe an isolated shower storm. So bear in mind on the future track by tomorrow morning around 5 a.m., so Yates Center, Chanute, Fredonia, Coffeyville, even though it's painting this large green area across most of southeastern Kansas and into Oklahoma, it does not mean that there will be rain throughout this entire zone. This is simply indicating that we could have within this area an isolated shower or thunderstorm in the morning hours and early afternoon on our Thursday before those chances clear on out of here. I got the latest on Milton as well, and a quick check, still at a Category 4 strength, but at 157 mile an hour winds, it'll go back to Category 5 strength, which is what's expected a little later this morning or by early afternoon. Then it's expected to come back down to Category 4 strength as it approaches the Florida coast, and should make landfall late Wednesday, very early Thursday morning in the Tampa Bay area as a strong Category 3 storm. So again, there's those hurricane warnings, including Tampa and Fort Myers and inland on the peninsula. Tropical storm warnings north and south of that, just outside of Panama City, including the Florida Keys. And then tropical storm watches and hurricane watches, Jacksonville, Daytona Beach, down to Miami. Back here at home again, though it is chilly this morning, a little below normal in some instances. 50 is where we sit right now in Joplin. East breeze at about 3. Those blues are some pretty cool temperatures. Miami, though, still looking to be the cool spot at 43 degrees. And Chanute still hanging on as the warm spot, sitting at 56 this morning with a mix of 40s and 50s in between. Upper 40s to start. Mostly clear skies, few clouds here and there. We'll go near 70 by late morning. Our highs today going into the mid to upper 70s and maybe even a couple of low 80 degree readings, just a pinch above average. But again, by tomorrow, we're starting that warm up again, the bigger one, near 10 degrees above normal tomorrow. Sunshine, isolated storm or two maybe on Thursday. Regardless, temperatures heating up to near 90 degrees as we head into the weekend, and then almost like clockwork, third week in a row at almost the same time. Another boundary comes through late Sunday, and it will briefly drop our temperatures a little closer to normal for Monday. And we heat back up into the low to mid 80s next week, and maybe a couple of additional isolated showers as we head into next Thursday. That's checking your forecast. Now I send it over to Elise with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. We may be getting closer to the limit of human longevity. A study by the University of Illinois Chicago found human life expectancy is not increasing at the rate it did in the 20th century. We're still living an average of 6.5 years longer than we did in 1990, but that's far short of predictions that most people born today will live past the age of 100. A new analysis in Japan looked at the most effective ways to get people to quit smoking. The study found it takes a combination of tax increases on tobacco products, anti-smoking laws, and anti-smoking campaigns to reduce the use of cigarettes. Smoking continues to be a leading cause of premature death worldwide. And social stigma around certain ailments plays a big role in our health. Research by the University of Toronto found doctors who portrayed weight gain as a moral issue or a lack of willpower caused patients to disengage from their care. People who use drugs and people with sexually transmitted diseases also face social stigma, and the study says healthcare workers need to do more to address that. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, the Missouri Secretary of State gives a civics lesson on what happens to a ballot when it's submitted.
And we've got a chilly start out there this morning. It's going to be a little warmer by this afternoon. A look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Frontenac United Methodist Church celebrates 75 years of feeding the community.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:29. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday, October the 8th, and we are going very slowly again this week, it seems.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's only Tuesday, but it just seems like it's going kind of slowly this morning.
Sure. Yeah, I can feel that.
It happens sometimes. Well, hopefully your Tuesday is off to a fantastic start, and you're going to want another jacket again this morning. It's a little bit cool out there, but it will be warmer this afternoon, and it'll be even warmer on our Wednesday. But let's take a look outside first with our camera downtown Pittsburgh. We got a few clouds out there. Can't see them again yet. We don't have enough daylight, but they are out there. Otherwise, not doing bad. Same from our camera at 7th and Rangeline in Joplin as folks get their day underway. We'll head down to the MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. Just check in, and you can see everything looking pretty good so far. And same from the KDOT camera, 69 East 520th Avenue. Of course, that's just south of Pittsburgh. I do want to show you the Skywatch Storm Tracker, and the reason for that is we have a little thunderstorm. We've got parts of the rain starting to enter the far western edges of Elk County out here. We've got one single lightning strike. It's really not been that impressive, but nonetheless, we do have this little guy trying to get into parts of our area, and we have another little shower in the far northwestern corner of Greenwood County out there. Now, through the morning, there's actually been a few showers you can see out to our west, but it's almost like they're hitting a brick wall here right at the edge of our viewing area. But some of you folks, Elk, Chautauqua, Greenwood Counties, far western edges of our area may get a stray shower or two this morning. For the rest of us, though, it's going to be dry, and we'll have just a few clouds here and there as we head through our Tuesday, and those skies will eventually begin to clear as we head later into the afternoon and early evening hours out there. And again, today, a little warmer than where we were yesterday. 50 in Joplin, 51 in Pittsburgh, and a look at temperatures around the region. Miami's been pretty much the cool spot all morning. It looks like, taking a quick scan here, they still are at 43. Chanute now tied up with Neodesha as the two warm spots out there, 56. And in between, some of us well below normal, some of us right at, and some of us a little above normal out there. Kids getting on the bus this morning, we are looking at the upper 40s, mostly clear skies, winds expected to be light or calm. And as the bus brings them home, northeast breeze 5 to 10, upper 70s, still maybe a cloud or two hanging on out there. And that's what we're looking at today. Again, the skies will clear later this afternoon into the evening. Otherwise, just a few clouds, highs mid-upper 70s, maybe a couple of low 80s. So just a few degrees above normal for us on our Tuesday. Our Wednesday, though, we're looking to go about 10 degrees or so above normal. We could see a stray shower or two this Thursday. We will have those details and the latest on Hurricane Milton here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, when you turn in your ballot on November 5th, do you know what happens after? Well, the Missouri Secretary of State says the next step is a process called certification. County election officials gather the tabulated numbers from ballot machines for an initial count. Now, those unofficial results are typically released on election night, but official results can take much longer. Every ballot is counted physically and analyzed by multiple people over the course of several weeks.
We keep counting. We then go through a process of certification. We go back and check the numbers. We keep track of how many ballots are sent to a polling location, how many are cast, how many are spoiled, how many are brought back. Does that match up with the number of votes?
Now, the certification process typically lasts for 30 days past the election. When the process is complete, official election results are published on the Secretary of State's or the state election board's websites. The November general election is quickly approaching, but in order to vote in this election, residents must be registered in the county they live in. The deadlines for voters in Missouri and Oklahoma to register are this week. The deadline to register to vote in Missouri is tomorrow, Wednesday, October 9th, and the deadline to register to vote in Oklahoma is Friday, October 11th. For information on where and how to register, you can visit our website at KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. And some Oklahoma voters should be aware that the Ottawa County Election Board has announced a change in polling locations. According to the board's Facebook page, the location for voters in Precinct 23 will change from Quapaw City Hall to the Quapaw Fire Department meeting room. The board says the location change is due to storm damage at City Hall. Well, Frontenac United Methodist Church members got busy making noodles for its well-known 75-year tradition called the Chicken and Noodle Dinner. Now, the church invited Frontenac Middle Schools to lend a helping hand, and we got to sit down with one of the original members, and she says it's all done to benefit the church's fundraiser. Other members expressed excitement for the middle school students who helped with the workload.
It's a lot of people don't realize how much work is put into making the noodles, and it's just not making the noodles, it's the ones that cleaning up and serving and this and that.
Well, the church will start taking orders Wednesday of next week. There's something fun for everyone at the Pryor Creek Pumpkin Patch. The farm, going on its 4th year, offers a wide variety of activities from children's games to adult night outs. Nick McPherson runs the patch with his wife, and their favorite part of the farm is watching people enjoy their time when they stop by.
The corn pit. I mean, kids they live in the corn pit, and really whenever they leave, their parents have to drag them out, and that's like all they talk about. And my wife gets messages all the time of corn being in their house whenever they go change diapers and go to bath time or anything.
The Pryor Creek Pumpkin Patch is open every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Tuesday from 5 to 7 from now until October 27th. Well, the Pumpkin Patch offers all sorts of activities for families, including a pumpkin shooting cannon. On Halloween from 6 to 9, candy will be shot from the pumpkin cannon every half hour. Along with the cannon, they have bounce houses, a corn maze, a corn pit, and much more.
We came to the other side of our land, and he decided to do the extra things, have like a little pavilion and maybe a little general store, and we got a little train with more little carts on it for the littles, and I don't know. Hopefully it'll get bigger. I'm excited.
The Pumpkin Patch is open Friday from 8 p.m. to midnight, Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight, and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Missouri Department of Conservation has some advice for keeping animals safe during spooky season. The department says one Halloween decoration to watch out for is fake spider webs. They recommend using smaller webs instead of larger ones. They also recommend checking your webs on a regular basis and keeping them closer to the house.
Some people are doing ropes that look like spider webs. What ropes are a better idea, because that doesn't have that clingy clingy type material that can catch wildlife. I mean, squirrels can climb on ropes, other things can fly around ropes. It's not the big catch device.
They also recommend checking your webs on a regular basis and keeping them closer to the house. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Restaurants and food trucks in one Arizona city are making it easy to donate meals to those in need. And we have a nice and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Whitmore Pumpkin Patch located in Franklin, Kansas. In Consumer Watch this morning, restaurants in one Arizona city are joining together to make sure people don't go hungry. They've come up with an easy way for customers to pay it forward and donate a meal to someone in need. Alexandra Rangel shows us how.
It all started with David, a local business owner who started handing out these bulletin boards to restaurants and food trucks in town. This board at Tasty Tacos is filled with receipts of meals paid in advance by customers.
Next thing you know, people started buying tickets, people started bringing their families to get some meals.
Owner of the food truck, Estefan Jimenez, says it's been incredible to see people paying it forward since he put the board up 5 months ago.
Honestly, we've seen people have tons of smiles. We've seen people feel blessed just to give because they know that it's going to impact someone else.
Several restaurants have also joined the movement, adding their own boards. Angry Italian recently added one to their wall. But owner James Owens says he's been handing out free meals since he first got his start 4 years ago.
Where we're at, people crossing the border, I can't tell you how many families have came through here with children. We do what we have to.
Before owning his own restaurant, he worked at a food chain where he says they were forced to turn people away who came in asking for food.
People are hungry, what are you going to do? That's what I do. I feed people.
And that's what James and other local business owners are doing, making sure people in Yuma don't go hungry.
Blessed are the generous. When you help other people are going to help you out one day.
In Yuma, Alexandra Rangel, Arizona's Family.
The country's largest water utility says it has been hacked. New Jersey-based American Water says it doesn't know the full impact of the breach, though it did protectively disconnect some systems and is pausing billing to its customers. The company has contacted law enforcement and is cooperating with their investigation. According to its website, the American Water provides drinking water and waste management services to millions of customers in 14 states and on over a dozen military installations. The price of a Mega Millions ticket is about to go up. Starting in April 2025, one ticket will cost $5. That's more than double the current $2 per ticket price tag. Mega Millions says the jump is part of its new and improved game that will offer larger starting jackpots that grow faster with better odds of winning. And Insomnia Cookies is celebrating its 21st birthday this week. Loyalty Rewards members, or rather Insomniacs, can stop by to redeem an offer for a dozen cookies for $21 this week only through Sunday. Insomnia Cookies has more than 300 locations worldwide. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're going to start with a quick look outside from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. Now we're getting a little daylight. If you look, you can see the clouds we've been talking about this morning. We do have a few of those out there. You can also start to see them now from our camera at 7th and Rangeline in Joplin as well. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline looking good this morning, as is the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue. Do want to show you the Skywatch storm tracker. We do have this little thunderstorm, a couple of lightning strikes out there, and it's actually, this one has survived as it's pushed a little eastward, now just to the west of Howard into Elk County. Nothing strong, nothing severe, but the other showers that we've seen out here this morning have actually struggled to make it into our viewing area. It's almost as if these little lines here were forming a barrier, but we are seeing this little thunder shower continue to push off to the east-southeast, so we'll keep an eye on it, but at least some of us out there this morning may get a little bit of rain, which is much needed. It's not going to be a lot, unfortunately, but those underneath it will get some kind of much needed rain. Heading into the afternoon, just a few clouds here and there. Temperatures going to be a little warmer. We're going to be just a little above average today, and we're going to be a lot above average as we head into Wednesday and the upcoming weekend. Quick look at temperatures: 50 in Joplin, 51 in Pittsburgh. And around the area, 43, Miami. Miami's been the cool spot virtually all morning. Stockton took that spot for just a moment. Then Neodesha and Chanute both tied for the warmer positions at 56 each. So we're into the 40s, 50s. Some of us several degrees below normal. Some of us a little above normal. Kids getting on the bus. We're looking at upper 40s, mostly clear skies, and a light or calm wind. And when that bus brings them back home, upper 70s, northeast breeze around 5 to 10. We'll have another full look at your forecast, including the news you need to know here in just, no we won't. We will have a look at your forecast and birthdays and anniversaries in just a couple of minutes. But first, let's see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, the stars of the Apprentice movie, Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong, will be here in studio. And Oprah reveals the latest pick for her book club. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for those Tuesday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we're going to begin with Raylia Hayward in Altamont, celebrating birthday number 8. Says love from Yuma and Papa.
And over in Seneca, a happy 11th birthday to Kinsley Borland.
And we've got Roland Watkins celebrating birthday number 16 in Riverton with love for Mom, Dad, and Race.
And happy 17th birthday to Celia O'Banion over in Arma. It says here, happy birthday from Mama. I love you so, so much.
And we've got Melissa Blackburn celebrating birthday number 43 in Reeds with love coming from Mom and Dad.
And in Franklin, a happy 43rd birthday to Richard Westbury.
And Sean LaRock celebrating birthday number 56 in Fredonia. Very happy birthday, Sean.
And a happy 70th birthday to Marcia Beret in Chanute.
And in Moran, Richard Dudley celebrating birthday number 78.
And in Granby, a happy 81st birthday to Eddie Kraft.
And in St. Paul, Lakin Westhoff celebrating another year wiser.
And continuing our list with Shelley LaTurner in Scammon turning 64 today. Happy birthday.
And we also have Linda Like celebrating a birthday.
And over in Pittsburgh, a happy birthday to Jim Pyle.
Right, another great list of birthdays out there. And of course, if you want to celebrate with us, there's something simple you need to do.
Yes, go ahead and submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those photos, messages, and to meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen.
Certainly want to make sure that you meet that deadline. All right, let's take a look at this sunrise from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. It looks absolutely gorgeous out there. We've got a few clouds. We discussed it this morning. Now we've got some daylight. We have a few clouds out there, but boy, doesn't that just look beautiful this morning? And it looks pretty good too from our camera at 7th and Rangeline in Joplin. Just an absolutely gorgeous start to the day. It's almost again another Bob Ross style painting out there. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline, it's looking back to the southwest, so not toward the sunrise this morning, but looking good as well. KDOT camera 69 Kansas Crossing looking good too, and I'm sure the KDOT camera at 520th Avenue and 69 looks good, and it certainly does. Now, got some things we're going to go over with you. First, the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Take a look at this. That's a thunderstorm entering Elk County. So the far western edges of our area. In fact, let me adjust this now. So you saw we got another little shower by Winfield, another one up near the south sides of Wichita. But we've got this little thunder shower. It's rolling into parts of Elk County. This is an extraordinarily isolated shower because if you look at the entire region, that is about the only activity we have going on right now. So some of us going to get a little bit of rain, and any rain is better than no rain. It may not be much, but it will certainly be somewhat helpful. And we are still seeing a few showers develop back behind this around the Wichita area. Not expecting much out of this, though. We're looking at mostly clear skies, and the majority of us looking to be dry as we head into the afternoon out there. Temperatures today, warmer than yesterday, a little bit above average. They're going to be a lot of bit above average as we head into our Wednesday. Temperatures on our Wednesday starting to head upwards of 10 degrees above normal by the time we hit the afternoon with those highs. And it's going to continue to heat up as we head into our Thursday. So that's going to lead for a mild overnight Wednesday into Thursday. Now, early Thursday morning, as we've kind of talked about with the future track here, this is not saying that there will be rain across this whole region, although that would be welcome. It's not what it's indicating. In this zone, we could see an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm through the morning and early afternoon before those chances go away on our Thursday. Also, a quick look at Milton. Hurricane Milton still sitting winds at 155 miles an hour. At 157, it goes back to Category 5 strength, and that's what's expected a little later this morning and into the early afternoon. It will re-strengthen. As it heads toward the Florida coast, it should come back down to Category 4 status, but will still make landfall late Wednesday, early Thursday as a strong Category 3 hurricane near the Tampa Bay region. So again, hurricane warnings, Tampa Bay, Fort Myers along the west coast, tropical storm warnings north and south, including the Keys, and then watches tropical storm and hurricane watches from Miami, Daytona Beach up toward Jacksonville. So unfortunately, they're going to get another rough go of it with Hurricane Milton, something we'll keep an eye on. We'll have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know, this time for real, when we come back. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to hear how a program in Nashville is teaching life skills to area youth by using a popular board game.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A McDonald County judge yesterday formally sentenced Dawn Wynn to life in prison without parole for shooting and killing her husband, Harold Wynn, in 2021 near Anderson, Missouri. Wynn was also sentenced to 15 years in prison for armed criminal action. Well, two buses collided yesterday morning on I-44. The buses were new and delivered to a school district but did not have children on board at the time. The first bus was towing an SUV, and as the first bus slowed in the traffic, the second bus crashed into the towed vehicle, crushing it between them. There were no reported injuries. And the city of Neosho, Missouri has support for its infrastructure. Yesterday, the city hosted a presentation announcing the receipt of Community Development Block Grant funds. Now, Neosho plans to utilize the funds to improve parking in the city. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
We got a couple of stray showers this morning. Our far western counties, those will fizzle out. We're expecting to be dry and a little warmer today, upper 70s, maybe a couple of low 80s with mostly clear skies. As we head into the evening, skies will be clear and we'll fall back upper 40s and more low 50s out there. So pretty close to normal. However, tomorrow we're looking to be upwards of 10 degrees above normal. Sunny skies, maybe an isolated pop-up shower or storm on Thursday. Climbing up near 90 by the upcoming weekend, and another boundary Sunday night into Monday will briefly cool us back down. We're back into the low to mid 80s next week with more shower chances, at least some slight ones by next Thursday.
Alrighty. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making White House strawberries Romanoff in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. It's never too early to start holiday shopping, and stores will remind you of that now. Next on CBS Mornings, see some of the deals that major stores like Target, Walmart, and Amazon are offering so you can start saving.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Jasmine Kyle of the SEK Humane Society joins us this morning with some furry friends.
And Charlene Patton also in the studio to teach us another incredible recipe. However, it's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.